Good morning, everybody. Orange Jay here with another War of the Visions video, and Starlight Elena's kit is live in Global. So let's take a look at it. Let's look at her stats, her skills, kind of talk about like theory crafting her a little bit, and see if she's worth going for. I don't think she's Duane, but I think she's going to be pretty good. Let's check it out. Alright, now this video, like all of my War of the Visions videos, is brought to you by the Amazon App Store. So, big thank you to everybody who used my Amazon coin affiliate link. If you don't play on the Amazon App Store and you have the option to, it is by far the cheapest way to get Visior in the game. You save like up to 20%. Sometimes you just always save 20%. It's a great way to do it, and it supports me if you use my link. So, big thank you to everybody who does that. Now, we're starting on this page here because there's some things I want to point out. One, her jobs. As her Pathfinder, Kodadama Wielder, and Ruin Knight. There's no hate generation in there, so she's not like Rain, like a magic tank. Instead, she's a magic bruiser against mages in particular, plus an evasion unit who does magic slashing damage. We'll discover what all that means here in a second. First, let's look at her TMR. I think it's actually really good and a nice reason to take this girl to at least level 99 or 115 and then maybe slow build her from there. So Radiant Grace is in armor, 422 HP, 8 defense, 3 spear, and 18 evade. Now 18 evade, not as much as you're going to get on like a craftable piece of evasion gear because they have those passives on them, but it's still enough, right? It's nice. It's a nice amount for a TMR, so I like that. The skill on it is what I really like. AoE buff centered around yourself, 20% light and dark resist at max level with slash attack plus 25 for the person casting it. Really good. One way to get around units like Black Rose Helena, who can penetrate your magic resist and penetrate your spirit, is to stack up some dark resist. So having access to a dark resistance buff through a TMR is pretty useful, just like generically for more than just Elena. I like that skill. Now, her master ability. We got the new master ability, the HP and light attack up that we expect from our new units. And she's getting agility and magic. Really, really good master ability. Agility is good on all units, but particularly good on evasion units. And then magic, that's what her damage is going to scale off of. So that's really great. Let's go ahead and go to her skills next. We will look at her stats like we always do, but I want to go to skills next. Kind of see what her kit's going to do before we decide if her stats fit her kit, right? Okay, support abilities. She has Champion of Estrella. That is the upgraded Estrella's Chosen. It's agility up, slash resistance penetration of 40. That's really nice. And evasion rate 15. So here's another way of getting some evasion if you're going that route. Then she has magic up from Kodadama Wielder. She has Bathed in Sunlight, which is nullify, sleep, and stop, and HP up. This one's a little weak. I don't love that one a whole lot. Maybe there's some like PvE situations where you need that. We'll see. Light enhancing Ruin from her Ruin Knight. If you want to go like a DPS build for her, I think this is pretty good. Light attack 25 with a 5% decrease in dark resistance. That's a good trade-off. Then Dark Spirit's Blessing. I really like this one from Kodadama Wielder. If you're going for that anti-magic bruiser, it gives you spirit and it gives her 12% dark resist. This completely overcomes her native 10% weakness to dark and actually starts her out at plus 2%, which you can build on from there. And then Sharp Mind, another really good DPS support ability, accuracy, and 40 spirit penetration. So if you went like Champion of Estrella and Sharp Mind, you would have 40 slash resistance pin and 40 spirit pin right off the top. Two of the things that the two things she's going to need to penetrate to be a damage dealer. So I really like that stack for your DPS. Or mix in Dark Spirit's Blessing if you want to go for the bruiser build. Really like that. I really like her support abilities. They did a great job there. Counter abilities. Okay, she has anti-evil, she has to counter physical damage, and then procs a decreased accuracy at a nice range. This isn't bad. Like, it's interesting. I probably don't run that. I think I'll run the Kodadama Wielder one instead. Sealed Ephemeral Form, which is a 30% damage reduction that procs 20% of the time. I believe I read that. Sometimes I read that backwards. I read it right that time. You have a 20% chance to reduce damage by 30%. It's just generically going to make you a better bruiser, and I really, really like that one. Then she has magic commutation, which is an AP increase, but as a magic unit, she has a decent amount of AP to start a fight anyway. Okay, her main job, the reveal. Here we go. Lux Overflow. This is a short range, 14 AP, cheap 6-use attack. Like, it's the cheap basic attack replacement. 126% damage, and increases her light attack by 25 for 3 turns. So nice move here. It will boost her damage more if she uses it. I don't know how much the AI will use it though, but it's a good move. Okay. Evildoers Beware. This is an evasion rate 25 buff for herself and a decreased AP consumption by 33% for 3 turns for herself. 2 uses, 20 TP. We need to talk about something right now, and that's that she has so many good buffs. The trick here is going to be getting her to use the buffs you want her to use. Like, she has amazing TP skills, so much so that she's never probably going to get to use them all in a fight. So you're going to have to pick and choose, but for an evasion unit, you want some kind of evasion buff in the fight. She brings a self-only one if you don't have a teammate to bring her one that way. Okay, Crystal Shine Bright. Reduce counter chance by 100 for 3 turns for target at a nice range. It is a multi-hit attack, 2 hits, deals 200% damage, and increases her agility by 25% for 3 turns. This move is amazing. An agility buff for an evasion unit, a multi-hit slashing attack, scales off of magic, 200% damage, and you can see here, let's pull this up on the screen. Her damage scales off of 4 different stats. Magic, Dex, Agility, and Luck. Those are all good stats. Like agility and luck, you also want that in evasion unit anyway. She's going to hit really, really hard. So this is a good move. I like it a lot. Another TP skill. This one is it has 1 range on it and is an AoE buff. 3 uses, 32 TP. It is an attack 40% buff, magic 40% buff, and AoE resistance 20% buff for 3 turns for herself. Love this skill. AoE resistance, another type of resist you can put on yourself to help live through some of like Black Rose Helena's AoEs if you're going anti-mage, or any mage's AoEs. Really like this buff a lot. So, but again, the trick, she has so many good buffs. Do you ever use it? I don't know. Okay, Gemini Blade. This is upgraded to Iridescent Blade through her EX job, and this is a PvE master ability, right? This thing is amazing. 19 AP, it's really cheap. It's 165% damage with the EX upgrade, has nice range, 3 uses, and it's a 4-hit attack. Light slash chaining is gonna be a thing. Like, this is such a good PvE move. I love it for that, and it might hit hard enough with that chain that the AI will choose to use it sometimes as well, so really good move. Now, if you take her to job level 25, all the way up, she gets I've Tempered My Resolve. This is Courage. It's the Courage buff. You get to ignore fatal damage 1 time for yourself. So she is bringing that, and again, she's an evasion unit. I always point this out. With evasion units, or DPS units in general, but especially evasion units, they can die or have courage proc, like die but not die, right? Then they're still alive with 1 HP. At 1 HP, she can still dodge and maybe live through 2 or 3 more attacks virtue of evading. So super, super good to have a courage buff on her main job. She does not have to go get that from a sub job, and that's important. Okay, let's continue. I'm not going to go over every one of her sub job skills because you've seen a lot of those before, virtue of other units, but we will talk about as her Pathfinder here. She's going to get these moves. Light shall bathe the world. This is 121% damage with a 25% chance to inflict immobilize. The thing to note here is it's one of her very, very few AoE damaging moves. If we go back up to her main kit, she has no AoE damaging moves in there. So this is the first one she's gotten that we've talked about. Again, though, the problem, 121% damage, the AI is going to prioritize your highest damaging move. So the only way the AI would use this in auto fights is if it would hit more people, and by virtue of hitting more people, do more damage than her other moves. She also has Star Supernova, another AoE attack. This one's in a line of 3. Human Killer 25, Demon Killer 25, so potentially another good PvE move with 165% damage. So she gained some AoE moves with her as her Pathfinder subjob. Okay, let's talk about her other sub-jobs real quick and why you would run those. Kodadama Wielder. You're going to run this one if you want to go Anti-Magic Bruiser because it gives her access to Anti-Magic Wall, the 50% 3-time reduction to magic attacks. Really love this skill, and I think if you're going for some kind of a Anti-Magic Bruiser, the combination of Anti-Magic Wall and Star Supernova gives you 3 hits of a shield, plus once you die, you get to not die one time. Really like Kodadama Wielder for that. But Ruin Knight, if you want to do some damage, let's talk about freaking Ruin Knight, okay? Ruin Knight gives you access to Drain Evocation. This is a really long-range skill, which is important for getting the AI to ever use it. So she'll use it at long range. It will give her 100% increase to her magic for 1 turn, and 40 slash resist penetration for 1 turn. So with Ruin Knights, kind of their ultimate 1-2 combo is Drain Evocation into their hardest hitting magic slashing move because they're just on a huge steroid for 1 turn. She has that really, really good. This is a manual PvP good skill too because you can force that 1-2 combo. Okay, then she has the natural, the stuff they have here for the rest of it. Banish Blade, Banishing a Blade. She also has Hazard Spell for a magic buff, but really you run Ruin Knight if you want access to Drain Evocation for that massive Wombo combo. I think I like Kodadama Wielder the best for that shield. That shield's just great. So there we go. Then her limit break, let's talk about that. It is Prismatic Punishment. Reduce counter chance by 100 for 3 turns for the target. So another move that turns off their reaction ability. This is an AoE, not a really long range. Like it only hits at a 3 range that extends to 4 virtue of the AoE, but it is 200% damage with a decrease in the target's agility by 20% for 3 turns. It's a good move. It's a good move. Like it just does a lot of damage, decreases their agility. Mix that in with her ways to increase her agility. She might be able to lap some people depending on what setup you're running. Okay, that's her skills. I do think her best thing, like I said, is Kodadama Wielder sub-job, and then just go nuts, be an anti-magic bruiser / evader, and just smash people. Let's look at her stats though, and then talk about some potential build ideas real quick before we end the video. Alrighty, here you see her stats on the screen, 99, 115, and 120 from left to right. Note the stats you need as an evasion unit and as a magic damage bruiser. You need HP to be a bruiser, she needs magic. She has a good amount of those, right? 2400 at level 99 HP scales into 3200 at level 120, 434 magic scales up to 570 magic at 120, so I think she's set in those areas, and then you can see what she lands on at 115. I do think the 115 to 120 stat jump, especially in HP, is worth having if you want her to be a bruiser. Okay, her agility, 68 across the board. 68 is fast. That's plenty for an evasion unit. Her luck, another really important evasion stat, goes 236, 267, 272. So a nice jump from 99 to 115. Not as big of a jump from 115 to 120, but still, the more luck you have, the better. Some areas where she falls short, I think. I would have liked to have seen some more Spirit on there. If you really want to be this, anti-mage, Spirit would have been nice. Her magic resist, also a little bit low at only +10. Like, those could have been a little higher in my opinion, but that's what they went with. I still think her kit is good enough to cover it. She's nothing to slash, right? No slash resistance plus or minus. She's -10 because she's a light, -10 to dark because she's a light element unit, +10 to pierce, -5 to strike, and +10 to missile. So her only weakness is striking damage, and it's a small weakness at -5. This helps her be that bruiser that we kind of want her to be, and maybe she'll be able to live through like some slashing attacks too, although level 99 Ruinstern, ouch, he might just put her down. So there's her stats. I think she does have the stats to do her job, and if she just dodges Ruinstern's attack, well then you can't hit what you can't see, right? Whatever, jump and weave and dodge and all that stuff. All right, let's talk about some vision cards. Oh, but also don't forget, if you pull her on her bingo board, is her sword. So here's the stats on this. This is a really good sword for her. I think you're definitely, I mean, it's free, and it doesn't, like, when you level it up to level 30, which is what it maxes at, all the stats on it will just max. Note a couple things. It has a very high magic stat, which she needs. It also has 10 evade and 12 accuracy. Now, the evade, you're going to get diminishing returns on that if you're running another piece of evade gear, but you still do get some. And if you just wanted to run her as, like, with more bruiser gear setup, you can still find 10 evade from the sword, which gives you some build options, and I like that. It also has 5 agility. So you don't have to go find agility on purpose from your TMR. That's a good little bonus. This is a very nice sword. It also gives her 10 slash attack and 10 light attack for a combined total of like a 20 multiplier. This is a great sword for her. You're definitely going to want to use this, I think. Now, let's go ahead and talk about vision cards. Whoops, let's click that button right there. And there's actually I'm going to have to like zoom it out. There we go. There's so much going on this vision card, you have to zoom out to see it. Okay, so let's check it out. The stat line, 344 HP, 16 AP. I actually really like that. It gives her a little bit more AP so she won't run out. And then 142 magic. Stat line is fine. Nothing to really write home about, but it's good. Unit effects. She's going to get 20%, or whoever light unit is wearing this will get a 20% magic buff and what, 2, 4, 5 evasion rate. So a little bit more evasion from the unit effect. That's great. The her special effect, she will get light attack plus 10 and critical hit rate plus 10. Okay, that's nice. She'll do some more damage. We like that. Party effects. Luck up for the group by 35% and critical damage up for the group by 13%. Excellent. There's luck. So if you're going evasion, you need luck, evasion, and agility. You need to get those from wherever you can get them. She's got luck covered with her own vision card, and it covers her strike resistance weakness. It gives 20% strike resistance to your light, I about said wind, light element units at max level. This is a great vision card. I do think you're going to want to level this if you're playing her. Now, if you're using her, I want to talk real quickly about some other vision cards that could like really kind of help her out here. And let's go to Flash of Insight. This is Rob's vision card, and I think Rob just got a really good friend to play with right here. So this vision card, let's look at the group buff in particular down here. This is going to give the group attack up if they're a light element unit, which she's not going to care about that at all. But it also gives evasion rate 20 when it's maxed out. So here's your evasion buff to the group from Rob's vision card. And it has critical evade on it, which, you know, the more crit that comes into the game, this really isn't bad. So someone in your group like Rob running this vision card is going to pair really, really well with Starlight Elena. Then there's Bahamut. Now, I can zoom in on Bahamut a little bit because there's a little bit less going on this VC. This is a very, very good vision card. If you have this and you're running her with like Yuna or with any light element mage, Mashiri, Sakura, this is going to give the party effect of magic up, which Elena is going to love. And it's going to give agility up, which Elena is going to love for all the reasons. Then single target resistance, she's also going to love that because so many of the guaranteed hit attacks in this game are single target attacks. So you could mix this with maybe like the robot from Nier, stack some single target resistance, and now you're not just a magic bruiser, you're also good against sharpshoot, and you're particularly good against things like Holy. This card will be very, very good to run along Elena. Maybe you hit it on like, if you don't have this, maybe you can hit it on that like 10 times UR card pull. Guys, I'm going to say right now again, I know I said this in my other video, that Bahamut banner is rough. It's rough. I did it back in the day. It cost me everything and more. It's hard. Okay, real quick, I just want to shout out a couple other things. If you're one of the few people lucky enough to have Scions of Shadow, I can zoom in more. Here that is. This would be for like a dark resistance build. You can see you get dark resistance right here. That's one of the options. Like, I haven't really like theory crafted my dark resistance team all the way yet, so I did want to shout that out if you have that, or if you're one of the few lucky people who have Scions of House Bulov, the Rams Division card that gives agility. That's a good option, alternative for Bahamut, but I think Bahamut is just so good for her. And okay, I think that'll do it. I'll be pulling for her on stream, and I'll make another like Adventures of Young AJ video over that poll. We gotta figure out what the theme for that video is gonna be. Good luck to all you guys who are polling. Like, seriously, I think the banner's actually pretty good. Don't If you didn't watch my banner review video, let me just give you the tips. Don't do the 9-step. This is not the 9-step. If you're going for the free Visior route, go straight to her pity banner. Once you maxed out, you're guaranteed to get her on the pity, and you're getting a lot of her shards along the way via the coins. So she's not that hard to get as long as you saved up enough Viz to go after her. So good luck to everybody in your polls. I hope you don't have to go to pity. I hope you get her way before then. And yeah, see y'all on stream later, or in a video tomorrow, or whenever the next time I see you is. Peace.